Haha! Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes. This is the behind the scenes for Gunfight. First of all, I have to apologize for the delay in this video. This video is actually meant to be released over 3 weeks ago. Sadly, though, I was assigned many other projects, given many opportunities, and so many other things just like popped up that this had to be put on the back burner for a long time. So, let's get down to the cool effects that happened, kind of teach you guys some of the things. One thing about this video is that you'll notice that it's very short. Its original intended time was supposed to be about 4 minutes. I fell really short on that area. But the interesting thing about this episode was that instead of it being dialogue heavy, I wanted it to be music heavy. So there's almost music always on in the background in this episode. What I did was I went onto Newgrounds. I found 4 different artists that I thought would express the personalities of each character, the character's segment, and I spliced them together. If you want specific names and all that stuff, just click on the description below and you will find all the links to the respective writers of the music. So for the visual effects, of course, you're looking at what I think was the coolest one. It's also the most CPU intensive one ever, the laser beam. For the laser beam, it is really quite simple. If you do own After Effects, just go over to the Effects and Presets panel, type in CC and then Light, and you'll pretty much find everything that I've used. CC Light Burst, which kind of creates this cool wavy effect. If you can see in Dr. K here, it's like, he's being blown back a little bit. That makes it kind of more epic, the effect. CC Light Rays, you'll see one right here. Another one kind of bursts out. Now I don't have this one playing out because it's so CPU intensive that it will literally take me at least 3 to 5 minutes to render a single frame. I was sitting here, I started watching Shaun of the Dead because it took that long to render the thumbnail for the video. Wow, I've never had an effect be that CPU intensive. If you also want to know how CPU intensive this is, this nearly 3-minute video takes over 12 hours for my computer to render. 12 hours for it to render this 2 to 3 minute video. That is insane. I gotta stop doing these things. So I talked about the cool epic lighting and this cool little burst right here, but then what's this in the middle? That's the actual beam. What it is a CC Light Sweep. Now the thing about CC Light Sweep is when it is added to a specific frame, it consumes the entire frame. So like this beam right here would be going all the way across back here. How did I hide it and how did I make it extend out? Well, when I select the specific frame here, you'll see this yellow line. That is a mask. There is a specific area there that is allowing the light through. Now the mask is allowing this beam to go through just in this specific area, because if it was over here, that wouldn't look right. If you look at my video Hot Fuzz, it's got another beam effect that uses CC Light Sweep, but it consumes the entire frame, and I moved the camera just in time to kind of hide it. I mean, if you really looked, you'll see it. That's a little bug of mine. So that's how we did the laser effect. Now, I understand that Joe gets hit. He does get hit in this area. Now see, I just simply moved the frame over. Now it's got to re-render a whole new frame. I don't even know if this is the right frame. Alright, so this is the right frame. So what is going on here? Joe is getting hit by the laser beam. Oh, look at that. Look. Oh, there's the bar moving for the frame. Ugh. Ah. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit louder because you could probably already hear my computer revving up to attempt to render and keep up with me. So what happens to Joe here? Joe happens to be hit by the laser. All that's happening to him is, I think it's CC Scatterize. Yeah, it's Scatterize. CC Scatterize allowed you to do this kind of explosion-y, like, dissolve effect that I used for Joe there. Also, you can kind of see he's kind of cut out, so actually he wasn't there when we took the actual picture. I just had the laser beam come in, smack Joe, and then Joe would dissipate. Same thing with the two barriers that happened there. Jesus Christ, stop trying to render. You don't have to. Okay. What else did we have? Oh, we had Jack's shield. Jack, I wanted Jack to have some like superpower. Oh, here's a good area that we used for the scatter as effect. This is kind of what happens to the. You get a nice little view of it here. That's kind of what Scatterize does. I'm sure if I found it somewhere in the timeline, I could kind of demonstrate to you what it is, but you know, the whole thing's not rendered out yet. So that was that. If we move back, I'm sure, yeah, you can see for his shield, it's pretty much the same plugins. It's the same CC Light plugins. If I type in CC Light, I can definitely tell you. Light Rays was used, and Light Burst was used. Also, I kind of upped the contrast and created a mask layer that was just the shape of a circle. And that's pretty much how the shield worked out. It's actually it's an easy combination of these three plugins. The three plugins that I used, if you use them wisely, you can create so many effects out of it. It's just those three plugins. So many light effects, lens, flares, and all that crap. So we're also going to take a look at, let's see, what I am to think is the title cards. Let's see if I can find one of the title cards. Yes, here's one. The title cards is something that I really wanted each character to have to kind of introduce their specific segment. I wanted each character to have like their own segment with their own music and their own title card. So here, Dan got some like industrial background. He's kind of colored a little bit better. There's an explosion or two happening in the background, and his name's kind of in, you know, that interesting color. All it is just Googled image of like metal explosion from Video Copilot, rotoscoped image of Dan. You can kind of see on his shoulder there, you can kind of see where I didn't rotoscope him correctly, but whatever. It's a very simple compilation of images and videos inside of one good old-fashioned composition. Did I miss anything? I don't know if I missed anything. Joe tossing the stick. I don't know if we got that. Or maybe just this part that's just this silly anime part where Dan kind of like flies off screen. That's just a virtual camera following fake Joe there. Of course, that is a rotoscoped image of Dan. If you look at his foot, you can kind of see where the peg was. I really need to take those stock photos where they're like this so that their legs can be whole. But, you know, that's how it works. So Joe was a lot more choreography. Composition like this, split screen effects, I wanted to do those for like a more actiony feel to it. You know, that's pretty much it. You know, I don't really have much else to say about this whole thing. Most of the effects in this were basic. The whole concept of it was a little bit more complex, meaning like instead of everything being driven by sounds and dialogue, I wanted it to be driven by music, and so that was the biggest challenge. If you focus on Dr. K's part, Dr. K's section was the area I focused on the most, where when he fires a laser, it synchronizes with the music. When you hear that "beow" noise, that is actually part of the dubstep song. If you listen to the mix or the music that was used, you can actually hear that "beow" noise. So that was that. Kind of an easier episode. Unfortunately, a lot of things has gotten in the way, making it really, really difficult to do. Hope you enjoyed it. I promise, well, I don't promise, I'm really attempting to get the next episode out. The next episode is proving to already be looking really cool. Because I've already done animation tests for our little friend. Something happens to Joe here that I I'm really hoping comes out, looking well. So hopefully I'll have that out before 2012. By that I mean hopefully within the next 2-3 weeks. So thanks for watching. Toodles! Yeah. Stop capture.